Hello, 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 Christmas Flixers. Welcome back to season 3 of Chicks on Christmas Flicks, where we can never have too many Christmas movies. We can only have not enough Christmas movies. I'm KL Brady, and guess what, guys? We are winding into the last week of the 2022 Christmas movie season. First, I want to say I am so sorry. I feel so incredibly behind on doing shows. I mean, honestly, this is like a huge, huge season, and my work schedule has been particularly insane. Like, it's usually insane, but it has been especially insane this year. I'm in a more senior role, and I've had to do a lot more work, and I've had to participate in a lot more business activity. So, but it's just like the industries, my work industry is like making up for like 2 years of like slower pace because of the pandemic and everything. And so like now they're like playing catch up right before Christmas. It's insane. And I'm in butt on fire mode every day I go to work. From the moment I get, I go downstairs to my office and turn on my computer, it's butt on fire all the way to the end of the day. But at the end of the day, I still love my Christmas movies. And this is how I wind down in the evenings, how I bring my blood pressure level back to normal. And how I wind down my evenings. So I am truly thankful for Christmas movie season, because otherwise I probably would be insane. But coming up this week, I have finally finished my assignments to the point where I can take 7 or 8 days off to rest and really catch up on movies that I haven't seen, do a couple of extra shows, which I'm really excited to do. So stay tuned over the next couple of weeks. I'm still planning to do the shows and to wind down the season and kind of do my season wrap up. And I'm planning to reach out to Brittany to do our top 12 show for the season wrap up. And I have to tell you, my top 12 right now don't look anything like what I thought it was gonna look like, honestly. It's just, this season's been wild. Movies that I thought I was gonna love, and they didn't wind up. I liked them maybe, but didn't love them. And then movies I didn't think I was gonna like at all, or kind of went in pessimistic, I ended up loving them. So yeah, my top 12. First of all, it's gonna be hard to get down to 12, right? That's an impossible task. But my top 12, there's probably gonna be a lot of ties in there. But my top 12 is gonna look crazy because, and I haven't even seen so many movies. There's so many movies. I can go the entire off season, watch new movies, and still probably have just seen all of the movies. There's so much content to catch up on. But I'm going to do as much as I can before the end of the season, and then through the year, I will be watching Christmas movies and catching up as much as they're available. So stay tuned, because Chicks on Christmas Flicks not going anywhere. We're heading into season 4 for sure. As long as I'm alive and breathing, I will be doing the show. So please stay tuned. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere. All the stuff that I had thought I had planned for this year, all the extra stuff, all the extra interviews I was going to beg for, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to do all of that because of my work schedule. So I'm really hoping, and I have, my coworkers have told me, they said, Carla, your mantra for next year has to be let it go. The Disney song from Frozen. And they sent that meme to me. And I was like, okay, I got it. Because, they all say I take on too much. So that is going to be my mantra for next year. I'm letting go a lot of that stuff. I'm not taking on a ridiculous amount of assignments. And I'm going to have more free time to do the things that I want to do. So stay tuned for season 4. I know we're going to wrap up season 3, but season 4 is going to be even bigger and better. And I am going to reach out for those interviews that I did not do this year. So like I said, stay tuned. It's coming. If you haven't already, please check out season 3, episode 10, which was my catch-up episode. So many movie recaps and reviews in that one, and a long Hot or Not a chick picks list. So in that show, Inventing the Christmas Prince, 3 Wise Men and a Baby, still a fave. Honestly, nothing can really beat that dance scene. The 12 Days of Christmas Eve on Lifetime, A Tale of Two Christmases, Christmas with You, and a ton of Hot or Not chick picks. Like I said, Haul Out the Holly, Santa Boot Camp, A Christmas Cookie Catastrophe, Xmas, A Christmas Spark, and Stepping Into the Holiday. I mean, just so many. I think there's even more than that, but those are the ones I'll name. This week, a load. So much goodness to talk about. Must Love Christmas, CBS. A Hollywood Christmas. Cloudy with a Chance of Christmas. Lifetime. All I Didn't Want for Christmas, VH1. We're really going to have to talk about VH1. VH1 2 years in a row. Some really good content. From a place I don't expect content like that. So it's kind of awesome. Just because it's VH1, right? We're talking music videos and music. We're not talking like Christmas movies, right? But great content. So I've got all that coming up on the recaps and reviews. And then in the Hot or Not chick picks, we've got a new Diva's Christmas Carol, I Believe in Santa. That's on Netflix. The Holiday Sitter, Hallmark. Holiday Harmony, HBO Max. We have got to talk about HBO Max. Man, hitting it out of the park. A Christmas Treasure, Lifetime. And I have 2 ratings upgrades. After second watches of a couple of movies, I had to upgrade their ratings. It was, that's a first for the podcast. I've never upgraded a rating, but I had to come back and upgrade it because I did some rewatches. And I was like, wait a minute, what was I thinking? I could have been tired, kind of exhausted from my day, maybe not really into it. But getting to watch someone I've actually really rested, I was like, wait a minute, this is so much better than I thought it was. So I've got 2 of those coming up later in the show. And so coming up, I will get to a few ho holiday headlines because I got a few, including my visit to the Hallmark Enchant Event, at Nationals Park here in Washington, D.C. So I'm super excited to tell you guys about my visit to Enchant. But first things first, St. Nick shout-outs. As always, you can know I've got to begin the show and with a shout out to listeners. I mean, that's my tradition and I love to do it. I am truly thankful for everybody who keeps sticking with the show all season long. Every time I, go load in the show or whatever, and I kind of go look at my ratings and I'm like, gosh, I can't believe people are still sticking with me. But you guys, I'm just so grateful. I don't even know. And I said, I'm going to do all these giveaways. And it's truly in my heart to do it, but my work schedule has been insane. So what this tells me is I really have to prepare some things in the off season so they're ready for the on season. And so I kind of have a machine ready to put things together and send things out. So that is going to be my goal. Don't think though that I have forgotten. I have not forgotten that I'm going to be doing a bunch of giveaways. I think I told you guys I've finished my 50th show this season. 50? Me? Which is insane. Which is more now. It's more than 50 now. So I've just got to do something to say thank you. And I haven't quite figured out. I know I feel like I want to do ornaments. I feel like I want to do a hoodie with a Chicks on Christmas Flicks logo on it. But then I have to design the Chicks on Christmas Flicks logo. So, and then that takes time, and then I'm thinking, oh gosh, and I gotta find somebody to do the gear, and then but I want to give it away. And it's just so much. So that is not in my heart to do it. It is just time that I haven't had to do, but maybe I'll get to do some of that over the holiday, the 7 days that I'm off, 7 or 8 days that I'm off, and then I'll be able to do some of that and right after, and going into season 4. But just know that I'm thankful. I mean, I truly am thankful. So today I will not be doing the full length St. Nick shout outs just because I've got so much show to do because I wasn't able to do the show last weekend like I had planned. And so this is kind of a double episode. But what I've decided to do is maybe during the year I will do some St. Nick shout outs, the full length ones, kind of catch up on stuff that I wasn't able to do during the season. So anyway, don't think that it's not forgotten or anything. It's just time. Time is just getting away from me. Anyway, I picked 5 listener locations to shout out. I don't know who you are, but I know where you live. With that said, let's get started. Number 1. Okay, so my plan was to redo Rice Lake, Wisconsin. I know I shouted it out in the last show, and I was planning to do like the full shout out this week, and then wasn't able to do it and get the show done in a timely manner. So unfortunately, I haven't done the full one, but I'm shouting out Rice Lake again. Hey, Rice Lake, Wisconsin, you guys, thank you for joining this show. That's okay, because you did show up on the listener locations this week, so I'm excited for that. Number 2 on the list is Nicholasville, Kentucky. Nicholasville, Kentucky. Thank you guys for joining the show. I picked Nicholasville because I was like Saint Nick, right? And the character in my upcoming book is Nick. They call her Nikki. So when I saw Nicholasville, I was like, ooh, that's a good sign. So Nicholasville, Kentucky, thank you for joining the show. Number 3 on the list is Gardena, California. Not gardenia like the flower, but Gardena, California. It doesn't have an IA, which is interesting. But anyway, thank you for joining Gardena, California. Number 4, and it's gonna take, listen, I had like 2 semesters of French in high school. So my French sucks, but I do love the language. So I'm gonna struggle with this. It's Fontenay-sous-Bois. Fontenay-sous-Bois, which is outside of Paris, France. Thank you, Fontenay-sous-Bois, for joining the show. I hope I didn't murder that too badly. And number 5 on the list is, now I'm really gonna struggle with this one, but the name was so unique I had to say it. It's Quispamsis, New Brunswick. That's a tongue twister. Quispamsis, New Brunswick. I'm gonna spell it, and you guys try it, and then laugh at yourself, because I know you're laughing at me. Okay, it's Quispamsis, Quispamsis, New Brunswick. Hey, if there's another way to pronounce that, and I really totally butchered it, record it and send it to me on Twitter, and I will listen, because I'm just yeah, I struggled with that one. But thank you for joining Q New Brunswick. I'm really excited to have you guys on the show. All right, let's roll into some holiday headlines, because I've got a lot to talk about today. Well, not a lot, but I've got 3 big, topics that I want to talk about today. And so I'm just going to go ahead and get to it. So the first thing is Hallmark Enchant, okay? From what I understand, you can still go all the way up until January 1st. So if you live in a location where there is an Enchant event, you must go. This is all I can say. You must go. Please check Twitter at hashtag Chicks on Christmas Flicks, and you will find my pictures from the Enchant event. It is magical. If you love Christmas lights, and you guys know I am Christmas lights berserk like crazy, right? I love me some twinkly lights. If you're like me and you love Christmas lights, it is absolutely magical from the moment you step in to the moment you kind of walk around the light maze. They even have like a game. My son went with me. He did the game where you have to find like 8 stars in the maze, and they have like stations where you can like check off every star. So rather than us taking the quick walk around the maze and looking at everything like I wanted to do, we had to go through every crack and crevice of the freaking maze because my son wanted to check it out. My son, mind you, well, he's not a small boy. He is 22. And he was like, I'm doing the whole thing. Like, if we're going to be here, I'm doing the thing, Mom. And so he did the thing. So he did the whole maze. So they have this game that kind of helps you, like, kind of maneuver your way through the maze, and you have to do all this stuff. So to make sure you see all the things, right? But I am telling you, it was just magical. It was worth all the heartburn. So here's just a few tips. 1, make sure you get there on time and inside your window. So what they do, they give you a window to park, like a 1-hour window to park. Then they kind of give you like a 2-hour window to like enter the park once you get there. Make sure you make your windows is what I'll just say, right? We got there probably a half an hour early. I didn't want to try going in and then get kicked out or whatever. So we just waited kind of around the corner and parked from National Stadium until our time came, and then we went into the gate, and then they let us straight in. We went in and parked. It was a little bit of a walk because we were like on the 3rd or 4th floor of the parking garage, but all of it was worth it. So you get out of the park and you can see the light display from the parking garage, and it's just beautiful looking at it. So I've got pictures from up above and then pictures looking at it. It's just gorgeous. Second, the entry line is long. It was long in Washington, right? So I will say, like, be on time because you might have to sit and wait. And the longest line for security, right? So you've got to go like through, I think we went through like 2 or 3 layers of security. You have to get your, it's like going through airport security. Honestly, you know, they do the whole metal check. You know what I'm talking about, the metal scan. They make sure that you don't have any food. Don't bring your outside food with you because you will have to toss it, okay? No, you're not bringing in outside food. I mean, for multiple reasons. One is because they got concession stands set up all around there, and they want you to buy the food that's in there. They don't want you bringing your own food. So don't even bother trying. You will have to throw it away. They have big trash cans there telling you to throw all your crap away. Okay. For me, for the day that I went, which was a Sunday, I would say don't even bother paying for the VIP service. I paid for the VIP thinking that we were going to have lines and all of this kind of stuff, and honestly, they didn't separate VIP from anything else. Like, everybody kind of went through the thing at the same time. There was no, so if I would say anything to Hallmark, if anybody out there is listening, is that there was no real VIP experience when I went to Nationals Park. There was no separate entry line. There was no checking. They didn't even check our QR code or scan us to go in. They just kind of looked at us, handed us this pass where you could do the stamps to find the stars, and said everybody just go through. So there is no real VIP. Maybe if we had gone ice skating, they did have like a little ice skating rink there, which was sweet. You'll see pictures of it online. But we didn't go ice skating, but we went through everything else. But I think we paid, I don't know, I want to say I paid like $50 extra for the VIP service, and I never felt like they had a VIP. There wasn't even anybody to let us walk through the VIP side. Like, there was, it's nothing. I don't know. Maybe on another day when it's more crowded, maybe like a Saturday. We went Sunday. So maybe on a Saturday when it's more crowded, it's worth it. But there was nothing. There was nothing there to make me say, if it comes next year, that I'm going to pay for VIP service. No way. Just will not do it. They would have to really make that experience clear. So, but then I will say, once you get inside, there's lots of stuff to buy. There's lots of food to buy if you don't eat. And then we got these light bulb drinks. Mine had supposedly had alcohol. It tasted more like sugar than it tasted like alcohol, but I enjoyed it. And then my son had soda. So I have pictures of those on the thing too. So but it is, when you see the pictures, you'll know what I'm talking about. There will be no, oh, I wonder why she paying all that money to go to see. No, you won't even wonder. You'll be like, oh my gosh, that looks amazing. So if they have an Enchant event next to you, I will say, yes, it is worth going. No, it is not worth paying for the VIP service. If you go on a Sunday when traffic is light, it's just not worth that. Okay, I will say that. But I would say 100% the experience was just insane. My son loved it. He's 22. He's at that age where he doesn't really want to be with his mother. And he really doesn't want to, he's kind of coming out of the I love Christmas phase, finally. And he's got a Christmas crazy mother, and he had a Christmas crazy Nana, right? So he knows Christmas crazy, which is why he's been Christmas crazy for so long. But he loved it. He absolutely loved it, and I had to almost drag him out of the park because I was tired, and he wanted to keep going. So, yes. Fun for all ages. The kids, oh my gosh, there were so many kids there that loved it. Oh, also, you can choose to mask or not mask. It is an outside event, so, you don't have to have a mask, but you may want to still wear a mask, to be safe. Nobody's going to look at you weird like, oh God, they came in here with a mask on, okay? Just go, if, mask or not, whatever, just go, because it's outside, like I said, it's not indoors, so, do whatever you prefer, whatever you feel comfortable with, but enjoy the event and the displays because they are phenomenal. It's unbelievable. It's like Disney magic, but it's Hallmark magic. It's beautiful. Okay, loved it. Okay, anyway, so on to the next thing, right, which is the holiday astrology report. I had to talk about this a little bit. I'm probably not going to go through all of the signs, but I did want to talk to a few. Okay, so basically this article kind of matches the holiday movie, and that's TV holiday, feature holiday movies to your star sign, to your zodiac sign, okay? And so I just want to read a few. So Aries, if you were born between March 21st and April 19th, your movie is Stepping Into the Holiday. Now, why did they say that? They say Stepping Into the Holiday is a feel-good holiday film about a celebrity dancer that ditches his high-profile TV gig and heads to home for the holidays. Quitting a cush job as a recession looms, big-time, bold moves, and is very, very Aries. So the fact that he made these bold moves is apparently a very Aries thing to do. Okay, so that's why Stepping in the Holiday is for you. All right, the next movie, Catering Christmas. This is for Taurus if you were born between April 20th and May 20th. Okay, so it says, Taurus folk go hard for a snack and are often resistant to or flat out suspicious of romantic advances. Both elements are at play in Catering Christmas, which follows an overworked caterer as she feels the advances of the charming bon vivant, nephew of an old moneyed matriarch, food, wealth, workaholic tendencies. I have workaholic tendencies. It's terrible. I wonder which one they picked for Aquarius. This is funny. Very on brand for the bull, though. Workaholic, food, wealth, workaholic tendencies, all apparently associated with Taurus. I don't know if that's true or not, you guys. If it's not true, tweet me. Okay. Geminis, the Santa Claus. Now, I have a cousin that's a Gemini. She is very much two people. Two very different people in the same person. One day she could be one person, the next day. When we were growing up, she either loved me or she was beating me up. That's the truth. She loved me and was protecting me from anybody else that would bully me, or she bullied me. It's just, I mean, I love her to pieces today, but she knows that's true. That's when we were little kids, though. We'll say that. She hasn't done that as an adult, but I'm taller than her too. So, but anyway, so starring the real life Gemini. This is Gemini. Tim Allen. The Santa Claus series is the latest installment of the Santa Claus franchise, of course. The premise is close to the extreme, indecisive heart of every Gemini. As a retirement age, Santa must grapple with work-life balance and the consequence of his bad choices. Okay. Cancer. June 21st to July 22nd. Falling for Christmas is Your Movie. That's the Netflix show. So, this is starring Cancer comeback queen Lindsay Lohan. Netflix's Falling for Christmas is the tale of a hotel heiress that loses her memory when she tumbles from the top of a mountain. Hilarity, heartwarming moments, and a face-off with a raccoon ensue. The trailer reminds us, sometimes forgetting who you are means discovering who you are, which sounds very much to me like a water sign. You know, I always thought Aquarius was a water sign. It's an air sign. Honestly, I never connected that. I don't really get too much into this. It's not like I look at my zodiac every day and live by a zodiac sign, but every now and then I'll look up something Aquarius related. And I just didn't realize, I thought we were water. It's Aquarius, it's water, right? No, we're air. It's an air sign. Didn't know that. All right, so let's zip down here. Libras. Let's go to Libras. Designing Christmas. I have Libra friends. My dad's a Libra. Okay, ruled by Venus, planet of love, aesthetics, and interior design, Libra folk will fall for Discovery Plus's Designing Christmas. The story of two co-hosts. I love this movie, by the way. The story of two co-hosts of a house renovation show as they reckon with unresolved romantic feelings and an inconvenient engagement. A close second on the classics front is Will Ferrell's Elf. Because the sun is in fall in Libra, natives are inclined to have difficult relationships with their fathers, and never has that dynamic been more delightfully dramatized than in The Ballad of the Buddy, the Elf, and his dad, the curmudgeon that finally comes around. All right, Scorpio. This is my son. He's a Scorpio. October 23rd to November 21st. Spirited is the movie. I told you guys about that one, which I absolutely love. In real life, did you know that Ryan Reynolds was a Scorpio? I did not know this. So, starring in real life Scorpio, Ryan Reynolds, Spirited is based loosely on Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. I can believe this now. If they talk about somebody being cranky, that is my son. He can go from cranky to sweet as pie, in seconds. Promising on the Christmas Eve, one dark soul is selected for redemption. Will Ferrell plays the ghost of Christmas Present, charged with leading Reynolds on a journey to betterment. No one loves a bad guy goes good story arch more than a Scorpio, making this Apple Plus offering a perfect match. That's interesting. I tried to get my son to watch that, and he watched the first 20 minutes and then walked off somewhere. He didn't get into it. I don't know. Maybe we'll try again. Maybe I'll force him. Okay. Capricorn from December 22nd to January 19th. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Capricorn represents the archetype of the father, and there has never been a better unhinged holiday daddy than Chevy Chase. I will say this is true. So that's interesting. So my ex-husband is actually a Capricorn. I'm going to put the link to this article on Twitter for you guys to look up yours, because I'm not going through everybody's. But I will do mine next. So if you're an Aquarius, you're lucky. I'm Aquarius too. So Home Alone. We got Aquarius. We got Home Alone, January 20th to February 18th. There's a hot debate about whether or not Home Alone is a Christmas movie. It's a Christmas movie. Who debates this? I don't know. Just as there's a hot debate about whether or not Aquarius folk come from planet Earth. Now, we do come from planet Earth, but I can understand the debate. Relative to the plot, most lone wolf water bearers, we are lone wolves for real, okay? Would welcome the chance to spend the holidays alone in a fancy house, eating ice cream and outsmarting baddies. You know what? I never really thought about it, but that's true. That's actually kind of true. Anyway, so and then there's more. There's more. I skipped a few because I didn't want to spend the whole show doing this list. But I will post the list in on Twitter, and you guys can go look up your sign. Okay? So now, my third and final holiday headlines for this week is another thing that came into my mailbox due to my Google alerts. And this one I could not resist looking at because I really wanted to see the numbers behind this. So, like I said, it came to me. I didn't look it up. But the article is called Hallmark versus Great American Family. Who's winning the holiday movie war? And I really wanted to see. I mean, I kind of figured, I kind of guessed, but I really wanted to see, you know, what they were saying about this. And there were some pretty interesting points in this movie. And so they say it's a beef, right? I don't think that's true, right? I think that it's a one-way beef, let's put it this way. I definitely think that Bill Abbott has a bone to pick with Hallmark because of the way his exit happened and stuff. But do I think that Wanya is sitting around thinking about Bill Abbott? No, I don't think that's true. They're just doing what they do. So, anyway. So basically what this article says is that, and you know, let me go back to this. So they talk about how there were all these exits from Hallmark because of a lot of the stars were going over to Great American Family, Great GAC, GAF, whatever you want to call it, right? And they were asking, like, was it wise for her to leave? Okay, so who's winning? It says Hallmark, period. Is this surprising? It could be to some, considering that the coverage around the Great American Family feels a bit both sides, always presenting the network as an actual rival of Hallmark's, and rarely ever reporting on the network's barely measurable ratings. This is what the article says. It's not what I say, okay? It says, of the 14 Christmas movies aired on GAF through December 8th, 4 of them, Catering Christmas, A Royal Christmas on Ice, Christmas at Pine Valley, and I'm Glad It's Christmas, didn't even place in the top 150 cable programs of the night when measuring viewers 18 to 49. By comparison, on the night seemingly no one was watching Great American Family, Hallmark's Jolly Good Christmas ranked at 8, Lights Camera Christmas ranked at 12, one of my favorites, Three Wise Men and a Baby ranked at 6, Haul Out the Holly ranked at 11. In every single instance, these Hallmark movies were the number one scripted programs of the night. So if you're wondering, like, whether Hallmark is really suffering, or that this new formula that they are following has been successful or has been a failure. To me, it's been wildly successful, in my humble opinion. I love the diversity in the scripts, and apparently others like the direction of the programming as well. It's not just me. To throw more movies out there, this is from the article, of the holiday movies that aired between the season's kickoffs in October 21st through December 8th, Hallmark's holiday movies averaged 2 million viewers each. Hallmark movies and mysteries averaged 877,000 viewers each. Lifetime's movies averaged 428,000, which seems really low for Lifetime. Let me just stop for that, because Lifetime's been in this business for a long time. Like, I think the first rom-com movies that I remember watching regularly were on Lifetime, and they've got even a lot of rom-coms outside of Christmas movies that I fell in love with, which actually probably kind of helped me fall in love with TV Christmas, TV rom-coms really was Lifetime, honestly. So that's kind of crazy to me that they've been doing it for so long. But 428K viewers each. That's a wow for me. And the Great American Family movies, the ones that charted, averaged 282K viewers. That's wild. This article says if Hallmark has any competition, it's CBS. Now that's a shocker. 2 movies aired on CBS during the range in question, pre-December 8th, averaged 3.3 million viewers. But remember, CBS is a major network. Of course, you don't have to subscribe to get CBS. And Hallmark is a cable network. So CBS's audience is naturally larger. True that, right? So then they talked about how the impact of people that defected from Hallmark, right? So this is crazy. So they said, for instance, Danica McKellar has experienced a 361% decrease in her audience year over year. 361% decrease. That's insane to me. The news is even worse for Brady, the undisputed former queen of Hallmark, whose jump to gaff garnered the most attention, right? Her movie, Candace Brady Presents a Christmas Present, got a primo Thanksgiving weekend release in the wake of the kerfluffle around her big Wall Street Journal profile. If you haven't seen that, man, that's news. I didn't report it here because I wasn't going to add to the stuff going on around it. There's enough stuff going on around about it. But A Christmas Present was watched by 462,000 people. That was 20,000 less than Danica's movie. Wow. Yeah, that's kind of crazy to me. By comparison, 2.43 million turned into A Holiday Spectacular. That was on Hallmark during that time. So they said that's a major step down. Yeah, I would agree. That's probably a major step down for Candace. We'll see what happens next year. I'm sure they're in the we'll see what happens next year mode, right? But here's what I thought was really interesting. Comparing the first 32 Hallmark movies, including Hallmark Movies and Mysteries of 2022, with the first 32 from 2021, ratings on average are down just 130K thousand. They've only lost 130K viewers or watches. That to me is astonishing, given that there was a significant shift. There was such a significant shift in content, which to me says this: being on the right side of history in terms of embracing diversity has paid off for Hallmark. I will just say that. And I will leave it at that. It has not hurt them. The 130K may have shifted to other things, but most people are sticking with them because they're on the right side of history. I will say that. And I will say, I think that others that are on the right side of history, when you look at Lifetime content, when you look at Ion content, when you look at Netflix content, when you look at HBO Max content, Discovery Plus content, CBS content, like, to me, they're all on the right side of history. There are so many more I didn't name. Sorry, I just, didn't. Amazon, they're all on the right side of history. And I feel like they're all going to be rewarded over time for that. May the ratings may scatter, they may be more spread. But I think they're going to be like me. Like, whoever couldn't watch stuff, they're going to find things after the season is over, and they're going to watch it. Or they're going to find things on streamers next season, and they're going to watch it. So they're not going to really lose their audience. The audience is just going to find the material at different times, I think, right? But what do I know? I'm not a TV. I'm just a TV fan of the TV Christmas movie content. I am not like an analyst for that. Although I could be. Anybody wants to give me a job doing that, I'll take it right now. I can slow my schedule down. But anyway, so in the end, who won the ratings game? Well, Hallmark, but let's just face it, Hallmark's like beating the pants off of everybody right now. It's not even a contest of, it's Hallmark against Hallmark. And it's one of the most beautiful things about the race. This is how I feel about myself, right? Like, I am not trying to be better than anybody else. I don't care. What I want to be is better than the former version of me, right? So when I do this podcast, for instance, from year to year, I want to do better than I did last year. And when I write my books, I want to write a better book than the one I wrote the last time, right? So Hallmark they're in that competition where they just need to beat themselves. And I think they're going in the right way to do that. So I'm excited about the content coming up from Hallmark and really all of the other streamers on the right side of history over the coming year. I'm excited, and I will support as much as I possibly can from all corners, right? Which will be exemplified by this week's recaps and reviews, because I tried to hit everything. Honestly, I've tried to go outside of the mainstream, so Hallmark and all of that kind of stuff. But of course, I landed on Hallmark a few times. So anyway, now it's time for my recaps and review for week 7 and 8. I'm going to give you a quick recap and my Christmas tree movie rating. My ratings, as if you're new to the show, my ratings run from 3 to 5 stars, meaning I don't do the ones that I just I'm not going to diss movies. But I'm also not going to feature them. Movies that I don't like, right? At all. If I watched it, 15, 20, half an hour, and I'm no, I can't do that, I'm not going to feature it on the show. I'm not going to trash a Christmas movie. But what I will talk about are the ones that I think are good, at least worth one sit down to watch, which are the 3 to 5, meaning you better DVR it, and you're going to be watching it over and 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 over again. That's me. So, anyway, let's get down to this week's recaps and reviews. I'm so excited. Some really good stuff this week. Okay, so the first movie on my list is Must Love Christmas. This was on CBS. It features Liza Lapira and Neil Bledsoe. Now, if you don't know Neil Bledsoe, he did A Christmas Carousel with Rachel Boston on Hallmark, and then he went to GAC But after Candace left, made some controversial remarks that really was kind of, I think, launched at the LGBTQ community, and a lot of the LGBTQ community thought it was launched at them, and so they took it how maybe it was intended or not intended. I don't know. But anyway, so but after the comments, then Neil was like, "I'm out." So he left. He basically was like, "No, he's not going to stay on the network if that's how they feel about people." So Neil left there, but he did this movie for CBS, and maybe he'll go back to Hallmark. So we'll see. But anyway, so but this pairing, it was not a pairing that I would like pick, but they were perfect together. To me, they were perfect together. They played wonderfully against one another. So Liza plays this like recluse romance novelist, right? And she's got writer's block. Writers with writer's block. There's a new twist for Christmas Story, right? But her BFF, so she's struggling. She's a recluse because somebody has like posted an article in the past about her that basically ran her in the house because it was kind of an expose, and so she's not trustful of the public, and she's not trustful. But anyway, so she gets an opportunity to do a book signing, and she agrees to do it. Because her BFF is telling her, you need to get out of the house, you need to be around people, and it's time for you to get in the game of love again. And he tells her, look, one of the things that you should do is make up a list of things that you want, put that out into the universe, and you'll get exactly what you want. And she's like, I'm not sure. And she talks to her mother. Her mother says, absolutely, this works. So then she starts her list. But she's not quite sure what all qualities to put on the list. So she starts it off. So unlike most movies that start out with the full list and then you try to find somebody that matches your list, she actually does not have the full list starting out. As a matter of fact, she only has one quality on the list, right? And over the course of the movie, she fills in the pieces of the list, fills in, so it's the top 5 qualities, and so over the course of the movie, she fills in the 5 qualities. Now, on the other side is Neil Bledsoe, right? He's a journalist, and he's struggling. They need some clicks, they need some viewers, some readers, and he's like, I want to do an article on this writer, and just found out she's kind of been a recluse all these years, and now she's doing like one book signing, and I want to do an interview and talk about her and all this kind of stuff. And so his editor's like, yeah, go for it, see if you can do it, and this is exactly what we need. And so he has made Liza his next story. So he tracks her down at the book signing, and she assumes he's one of those reporters who's just trying to do an expose, and she shuts him down hard, right? But he's like super persistent, right? Ultimately, both of them get caught in this like storm, and they end up being forced to stay in this like super Christmassy town. I want to say it's like Cranberry Falls or something Falls, I don't know, Winter Falls, something fall. You guys know. It's like the perfect Christmassy place that you ever want to be, right? It's got the snow, and it's got the lights, and it's got all the stuff. So both of them get caught in a storm. He's there to connect with her. She ends up connecting with her high school crush, who has previously dissed her, like apparently dissed her really hard, and now is showing interest in her. So this story kind of turns into a love triangle, right? Neil claims he really wants to get to know her and tell this truthful story about her. And then this high school crush, who is Nathan Witt, by the way. White Witt, I don't know. I think he's Canadian. Cute guy, though. He's played on like a lot of movies. He's played on like Hallmark movies, and he's played on a lot of Lifetime movies. But anyway, so the high school crush is like pouring it on thick, and now he realizes how wonderful Liza is, or does he? Does he really? And does Neil really want to do revealing piece of her? Does he want to do another hatchet job? She's kind of got to juggle, who's the good guy in this scenario. So I really like this movie. And what I'm telling you is no more than what happens maybe in the first 10 minutes. There's a lot that happens. It's a very layered story. I really liked it. I didn't really go into it with a lot of expectation, but I loved the chemistry. I loved watching her develop her list and figuring out and how she figured out what qualities she wanted to put on the list. Like, I really love that. It does follow the Hallmark rom-com formula, right? But it still felt fresh to me because you had these characters that you normally wouldn't put together in a movie. So this was definitely one I walked away from this loving this, wanting to watch it again. I put it on my DVR because I just didn't have time to watch it live, or I knew I'd be asleep. But it's staying on my DVR right now. It is still on my DVR. And I don't want to take it off, and so I'm figuring out what else I can take off so that I can keep this on there. I really liked it. I don't know, it may come out later in the year or next year, but for right now, it's staying on there. So I give this one 4.25 Christmas trees. That's pretty high for me. Not quite 4.5. Put into perspective with another one that is an actual 4.5, but it's a 4.25 for me. So yeah, really liked it. All right, so that one's a keeper. Must love Christmas. If you have not seen it, go watch it. I think it is on demand. If it's not, if you can't catch it on real live TV, which I don't think you can. They don't really replay a lot of their stuff, but you can catch it on one of the pluses, right? I know CBS probably is running on CBS. It's probably running. I don't know. You probably can catch it on Amazon Prime at some point too, but that is definitely one to watch. Number 2, A Hollywood Christmas with Jessica Vann and Josh Swickard on HBO Max. Now, Warner Brothers. This was a 2 out of 2 for me for Warner Brothers movies on HBO Max. It's I really like this one. It's a Christmas movie within a Christmas movie, right? Jessica plays a director who loves Christmas, and she loves to make Christmas movies, right? So of course you got this new evil network executive coming in who doesn't understand Christmas movies, and basically they cancel her 3-movie deal and tell her this is her last movie. That's it. You're done. New blood's coming, new leadership's coming in. Your 3-movie deal is over, and this is your last film. And oh, by the way, at some point we're going to cut your budget, right? So she's has impossible odds. She kind of takes it on herself to try and save the integrity of the movie while facing all of these obstacles and roadblocks, right? So Josh plays this less senior network exec, right? And he doesn't get Christmas movies at all. He thinks everything should be like an action movie, like a thriller or action movie or whatever. So he doesn't get Christmas movies at all. He doesn't get the formula. It's he doesn't get it at all. And so basically he's there to babysit the director and the movie. What he's not expecting is to actually sit in this Christmas movie experience and to start understanding what it's really all about, right? Why Christmas movies? Why do people feel the way they do about them? Why you need to have Christmas movie content in addition to all the other kinds of content that you develop. So that's kind of what happens to him over the course of the movies, that he kind of learns. Now, does it win him over? That's another question. But he learns, right? Then there is this PA. She was one of my favorite characters in the movie. Her real name is Anissa Borrego. I can't remember what her name is in the movie, but she's got this high-pitched voice like Mindy Kaling, right? And she basically tells the director in the movie from the beginning, that this is her real life is mirroring a Christmas movie. And that like Christmas movie plots, at the end, everything is going to work out okay. And every time something happens between her and this network exec, basically she compares it to a Christmas movie plot. So it's kind of a Christmas movie in a Christmas movie in a Christmas movie. It's really neat. And then, so they're filming an actual movie. So of course there's got to be some drama going on with the stars of the movie, the actual stars of the movie that she's filming. So there's that drama going on that is like a Christmas movie. It's like layers of Christmas movies all mushed together to make one like really glorious movie. I really loved it. I love the concept. It was a very layered story. It was more complex than you would really expect, even for the time that they spent on it. There were some, very Christmassy, cheesy things about it, but then it was also very layered and complex in some ways. It just, to me, it just meshed together really well. So I definitely recommend this if you have HBO Max or can get or you can get a trial membership or whatever. Just check it out. It's really good. I don't know if this one will like end up on Amazon Prime or somewhere where you can actually watch it, pay to watch it, just that movie, or watch it for free. But I'm telling you, that is worth your time. That's a really good movie. Now I want to say, A Hollywood Christmas and Must Love Christmas both featured Asian lead characters, which was also a different thing, for this year. Like I said, to me, so many people are getting on the right side of history with this, and it may be, maybe not out of all the goodness of their hearts. Maybe they actually are starting to see that they can still profit by doing the right thing. But I'm glad to see them doing the right thing. All right. The next movie on my list is Cloudy with a Chance of Christmas from Lifetime. Now, Cloudy with a Chance of Christmas. Awesome. I really liked this movie. I thought it was so cute. Another diverse movie. Valerie Ortiz was the lead actress. Brandon Quinn, you probably know him from Santa Boots. This is where I remember him most from. And then Sarah Jane Morris was also. Again, diversity, the Latina Puerto Rican show. Puerto Rican leads and cultural aspects in there, which I really loved. But anyway, so there's this morning show, right? Now, Bridget Torres, she is the lead and the diverse lead. She's the TV weather woman. And they've said that they're preparing her to do this big snowcast right now. She's one of 3 parts of a morning show, right? She's like the Al Roker, right? So, there's 2 leads on the show. And she, it seems like she's wants to grow her career. And so basically they've asked her to host this big snowcast in Christmastown, USA. And they want to air it on there. And she's like, are you going to invite the host? And they're like, they're not coming with us, right? And she's like, great. So she thinks it's her time to shine. Well, when they get to Christmastown, USA, she finds out that the entire trio is coming to town and that she is still in the number 3 spot on this thing that she thought she was going to be like leading. What's clear from this trio is the male host, who is Drake, likes Bridget, right? The female host, Tatum, likes Drake. She takes this trip as like their chance to like cozy up and have a date. And he's like, pump your brakes, sis. It's not that type of party. I like Bridget. Bridget's like, I'm over both of you guys. I'm just here to do what I need to do to get this promotion. And what we do learn is that Bridget was up to be his co-host, and then he shot her down. So if you like her, and it's clear that he likes her almost like from the first scene, it's like you like her, then why would you shoot her down for that role? And we don't really know why that happened, but we do find out later. And that's really where the fun part of the movie comes in, right? So I honestly, like I said, went into this movie low expectations. I said I'll give it 15 minutes to half an hour, and if I don't like it, I'm gonna change the channel. And I end up watching the whole thing. I liked it a lot. Probably one of my favorites from Lifetime this year, along with the 12 Days of Christmas Eve and A Holiday Spark. What I'll say, I'll give it about 4 Christmas trees. It was that good. It was pretty good. It's something I will watch over and over when I see it on TV. It's not something I am keeping on my DVR. It's on my DVR right now, but I don't think I'm going to keep it there because I got other stuff I want to keep. So definitely, when you see Cloudy with a Chance of Christmas, it may surprise you. It's better than you think. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed it a lot. All right. And the 4th movie that I'll talk about today is All I Don't Want for Christmas, from VH1, with Gabby Sidibe, Andrew Bushell, and Kel Mitchell. Okay. Now, Gabby, we love her. She was in Precious. I think she's won an Oscar or was nominated for an Oscar from that movie. So, we're not talking like small time talent here. And she put it all on display in this really quirky, funny, off the beaten path, defies the Christmas standard kind of movie. I love this. This is the one I gave 4.5 Christmas trees. It is so good. It's on my DVR. It's going to stay on my DVR. And the approach to, the approach they took on the story, to me, it was just right, enough fantasy mixed with reality that it was just the perfect combination of Christmas stuff. Okay, so what you have is Gabby. She plays this funny, very smart girl. Of course, she's black. She's heavy set. She's not your standard of beauty. Of course, according to American standards or the world standards. And really, in her eyes, her mother doesn't even see her as beautiful, right? So she's got really low self-esteem, but she's really confident inside. She just doesn't kind of let that out, right? She's scared to ask for what she really wants because she knows she's in this package that is not considered like the standard package. She's not skinny. She's not. So anyway, she's really scared to ask for what she wants in life. So she wanted this job. She worked as a producer for a podcast, and what she wanted was this dream position as a host of her own podcast, but she's scared to ask for it. So of course the person that does fit the mold gets the role, and she's like so upset about it. So after that happens, she basically gets 2 sheets to the wind and writes this drunken letter to Santa. And it's safe to say in the letter she asks, if she had been sober, she might have asked for different things. She probably would have asked for completely different things. But because she's drunk, she asked for things drunken people would ask for. And she puts this in this mailbox, right? The kids have a mailbox where they send their letters to Santa. It's one of those kid boxes. But what happens is it really goes to Santa. And the North Pole, and Santa reads it, and based on reading it, they figure out that she's a lost soul, and so they assign an elf to her to help her get straight. So she wakes up in this world after this drunken night. She wakes up in this world with her own elf. His name is Wolf. And all her drunken Christmas wishes have come true, but it's like nothing that she would want when she's not drunk. And so she has to deal with the consequences of all these wishes that she's had. And that's kind of how the movie goes. So she has an elf and she's got wishes, all the things she didn't want for Christmas, right? It was funny. It was over the top, but in a good way. It was silly. It was serious. It was fantastical, but it was super real. it was just so many things in a movie wrapped up into one. I so enjoyed this movie. I did not think I was going to enjoy it. As a matter of fact, I probably got maybe a half an hour, 40 minutes into the movie, and she really kind of ticked me off with the things that she was doing. I was like, she had like annoyed me. So I started out liking her, and she annoyed me. But oh my goodness, the story arc is just perfect because she's supposed to annoy you. So if you watch it and she starts annoying you, it's because she's supposed to, because she's on this arc and she's on this redemption path. And it's just so good. If you haven't seen it, and if you can see it, check it out. Honestly, I think someone said that it's on Amazon Prime for like $7.99. It's worth the $7.99 in your time. It's really, really a good movie. I have it on my DVR. It's one that I will be keeping on my DVR. I will warn you ahead of time, though, if you don't like your Christmas movies with adult language, there is some adult language in this movie. And honestly, it's not over the top, and it's you can deal with it. You could tell I don't even put adult language in the show, right? And a lot of podcasts do, and I don't. But I don't mind every now and then watching a show that kind of crosses that line. And this is one that crosses that line, but it's not like in a way that it's going to be like super offensive to anybody. So on the whole, like I said, this was a 4.5 Christmas tree movie for me. And there really weren't a whole lot of those this season. So, there were a lot of good movies, but for me, the ones I rated 4.5 Christmas trees, I think there's maybe 2 or 3 of them, right? It's not a lot. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick break, but I'm coming back in a minute with my hot or not chick picks for the week. Okay? Got a lot to get through. So I'll be right back.
Now available on paperback and an ebook, the hilarious romantic comedy, The 12 Days of Christmas by USA Today best-selling author K.L. Brady. Both recovering from heartbreak, Gabby and Dave fall for each other after Dave sends a misdirected text message to the wrong woman. It's a comedy of errors when they try to meet face to face. Murphy's Law strikes and they may never see or speak to each other again. However, Gabby thinks Dave may be the one, so she accepts the mission to unite them before Christmas Day. Now she's got 8 days and 12 Daves to find the man of her dreams. But Dave is hiding something. 3 big things. Even if Gabby finds him, will his secrets keep them apart? Rediscover all the joy and wonder of the Christmas season when you pick up this heartwarming story today. To find out more about the 12 Days of Christmas, visit klbradyauthor.com or pick up your copy at Amazon, Apple, Kobo, or Barnes & Noble today. And now it's time for Chicks on Christmas Flicks.
And welcome back to Chicks on Christmas Flicks. In the previous segment, I talked about my ratings and reviews for the movies of the week, including Must Love Christmas, A Hollywood Christmas, Cloudy with a Chance of Christmas, and All I Didn't Want for Christmas. And now I'm going to get into my hot or not chick picks of the week. And we've got quite a few, okay? So I'm going to hurry up and try and get through these, because I know this has been a long show, guys. Okay, so number 1, A New Diva's Christmas Carol, VH1. Now, you guys, especially Hallmark watchers from way back, you probably remember A Diva's Christmas Carol with Vanessa Williams, the former Miss America, right? Who did the original. So from what I understand, when I looked it up, this is not a remake of the original. It is a continuation, a new version of the original, right? So it is not meant to be a remake of that, but it is meant to be a kind of follow-on of that, right? And the Christmas Carol theme has been huge in movies this year. I've like seen it in everything. But anyway, is this a hot or not? To me, this was probably warmish, right? It was not hot. It was starred Ashanti, right? Mel B, Vivica Fox, Robin Givens, like they're divas in their own right. So it was kind of a divas checking divas. But it wasn't bad. It was definitely one that I will watch once. And if you like Christmas Carol stories, you know you like them. And if you've ever seen Ashanti, Ashanti can play like a bee, right? She can play a serious bee, right? Very well. She plays it almost too well. So I will say it's definitely worth a sit down and watch it once. But this is a VH1 movie. I would say three Christmas trees to maybe 3.5 Christmas trees. Another movie that I watched, the second one on my list, is a New York Christmas Wedding. Now, it just happened to keep popping up on Netflix every time I went, so I just watched it. This is an LGBTQ offering on Netflix. It is not a romantic comedy. It is a rom drama, as I have now coined the rom drama. It's like, well, it's not a dramedy, it's a rom drama, right? It's more dramatic than it is funny. I would say this one to me is warmish, like 3 to 3.5 stars. 3 to 3.5 Christmas trees. Sorry, I always say stars, Christmas tree stars. You know what I'm talking about. But definitely one worth watching one time. Will I watch it again? No, I won't watch it again. I've seen it, but definitely worth watching one time. Lots of drama, insightful drama about accepting who you are and being truthful about your feelings, and where it leads you when you lie about who you are and about your feelings versus where it lands you if you tell the truth about your feelings, right? So that was a very it was a good script, right? It was just, I like comedy. So for me, I was expecting, they kind of showed a clip from it that looked like it was a comedy, and it wasn't. It was a drama. So if you go into it believing it's and you're wanting to see a drama, then you're going to go into it for the right reasons. I thought it was a comedy. Number 3, I Believe in Santa, another Netflix pick. Hot. This one is hot. Now I will tell you, I was watching I saw the ratings on this before I actually saw the movie, and the ratings were like really kind of bad. It was like 4. It got like a 4.2 the last time I looked at it, and I was like, wow, that's pretty low. But if you know anything about Christmas movie lovers, anytime we see a rating that low on a Christmas movies, we are not deterred. No rating will deter us from seeing a low rated movie. And I am so glad. I will tell you, for me, this is a hot. I would give it 3.5 Christmas trees. Easy. If you've ever seen Fever Pitch with Drew Barrymore and Jimmy Fallon, this is like that movie, but for Christmas. Instead of like, how Drew found out that Jimmy was like this baseball fanatic, right? In this one, the woman learns that her boyfriend is a Christmas fanatic. And not only that he is a Christmas fanatic, but that he believes in Santa Claus. And it was really kind of nice to watch this relationship play out. And she's a single mother. So the kid, of course, the kid's 9 years old, and she's still she's kind of on the brink of of learning about the secret about Santa. And I don't want to ruin it if somebody's got their kids listening. So anyway, so the kid is on his side, and he's on the kid's side. And the mom is the one who's on the struggle bus. So to me, because I could understand the movie and the plot, because I'd seen, Fever Pitch a gazillion times. I have watched that movie probably more times than the law should allow. So because I saw it kind of in the vein of Fever Pitch, honestly, to me, it was good. I enjoyed it a whole lot. I get why some people may not like it, but I loved it. Loved it. And I've seen a lot of low budget Christmas movies this year, and it was definitely not a high budget Christmas movie, but that doesn't mean it's not good. So from my money, especially if you know Fever Pitch, definitely watch it. You'll enjoy this movie. You'll enjoy it. You will not feel like your time has been wasted. I think I will watch that again. I may not watch it like a lot of times, but at least once or twice more. It might be a once a season thing for me. The next movie on my list, A Christmas to Treasure on Lifetime. I give this one a warm to hot, 3.5 to 4 stars. It was Lifetime's LGBTQ offering. High school crushes are reunited to join this one last outing, which is a treasure hunt sponsored by Miss Marley. Now, if you know anything about Marley and the Christmas Carol, I told you this Christmas Carol thing's been like this thread has been through a lot of movies this year. But so anyway, they sponsored this one, and then people in this group. So there's a group of 6 friends, and they're all in different phases and kinds of relationships with one another. But 2 of them are gay men who really didn't admit they were gay when they were kids, and have now kind of grown to admit it. And now one feels kind of slighted by the other because the other did not really, admit their feelings for the other. And so, they have to go through the healing of feelings and then the evolution of their relationship. So I thought this was a really cute one. It was just enough comedy to balance the drama. I enjoyed the watch. Definitely one that you could sit down and watch. Okay, my next movie on my list is Holiday Harmony. Good stuff. Holiday Harmony. This was on HBO Max. It starred Annalise Sapero, Jeremy Sumpter, and Brooke Shields. I love Brooke Shields. Whatever Brooke Shields does in a movie, I am going to watch it. I thought this was a hot. It's between 3.5 to 4 stars for me. And I love this movie. Now, it is another rom drama, right? It is definitely not so much comedy. But what happens is Annalise plays this character, a woman who lives in her van, and she is an artist and a singer, and she's looking to, find her big break, and she finally gets a big break to join an iHeartRadio concert, so to speak, for new artists. But she has to drive across the country to join this. And when she gets to Harmony, I want to say it's in Nebraska or Kansas or somewhere in the middle, right? She has car trouble, and she ends up having to stay in this town. And then she meets Brooke, the mom. She meets Jeremy, the son, and things happen, right? And so I really, really liked this movie. First of all, they're such talented singers. She's a totally talented singer. And so you could see the draw for everybody in the film. I loved the story. I loved her character arc. I liked how she evolved and how I don't want to give too much away. I don't do spoilers, and it's kind of hard to talk about that one without giving spoilers. But what I will say is you'll enjoy that one. It's on HBO Max, and it's definitely worth one sit down. You're going to like it. Okay. So the next musical movie, was The Sound of Christmas. This one I give a hot. And I am completely and 100% biased toward Neo, right? And for me, it's the singing in this movie that really takes it over the top for me. But it stars Neo, who is one of my favorite artists, and then Soraya, who has been on so many other movies. She's been on Lifetime, been on a few Lifetime movies, more of the thrillery kind of movies from Lifetime last year or this year. So I really liked her, but I honestly didn't know that she could sing like that. So her and Neo together, just beautiful. Like the singing alone, you will want to watch just for the singing. Honestly, the story for me was probably the thing that kind of drew it back, but the singing I loved. I absolutely loved. So I give that 3.5 to 4 Christmas trees. Definitely a rom drama, one you will want to see. Basically, and this is also based on my friend Tiffany Warren, her book, The Replacement Wife. So if you want to read the book on which the movie is based, check out The Replacement Wife by Tiffany Warren. Now, I know she has some input into the screenplay. To me, I like the book better. It's one of those cases where I really like the book a lot better, but the movie was good. The next on my list, that was BET Plus. Okay, BET Plus, The Sound of Christmas, Hot, Neo, and Soraya. Okay. The next movie on my list is The Holiday Sitter, a straight hot, 4.0 Christmas trees with Jonathan Bennett and George Chrisa. To me, I enjoyed that movie so much. It was cute. It was silly. Good jokes. Good dialogue for Jonathan, for sure. My man, JB, as I call him, right? Very sweet story. It was so funny I saw Jonathan kind of going back and forth with some haters on Twitter, and I was just like loving it. Talking about how, making crass comments about him and kissing another man and all this kind of stuff. Stupid. But his comebacks were just fantastic. So if you want to check out some of those threads, you can check them out. I think Ho Holiday Viewing, if you go look at their Twitter page, I think that's where I saw them. They had some posts on the arguments, and I thought they were really funny. So definitely The Holiday Sitter for me was one to watch. That was Hallmark's LGBTQ offering for the Christmas. That kind of and what I really liked, last year I think both of them came out the same weekend, but The Holiday Sitter came out first this year, and then A Christmas to Treasure came out the following Friday. So they didn't compete directly against one another, which I really liked, because you got to enjoy both of them. Okay, now here's a couple more. I got a couple more, and then I'll give you my upgrades. Holly and the Hot Chocolate. So I had been dying to see this movie because it was a QVC movie. And I was like, QVC is getting in the Christmas movie game? Oh my gosh. So I got to see it. I kind of had to look just to see what it was. And I was like, is it going to be like bad? You know how like old Hallmark movies were when they were first getting into the game and they were kind of figuring out the right formula. It wasn't always the greatest movie. Sometimes it was good. Sometimes they weren't. So I thought, I was ready. I was open to see whatever it was. And I will tell you, I don't say bad things about movies, but what I will tell you is this. It's on QVC Plus, which is free. It is a 1-hour movie. It is not a 2-hour Christmas movie. And you need to even with the Christmas movie plot, you need 2 hours to really give it the right story arc, and all of that kind of stuff, and to kind of see the character growth and all that. So what it is safe to say is that the movie is undeveloped because it's only an hour, 50 something minutes, I think. But it is free, so you can go, get the channel. I think the purpose of you downloading the channel is not so much for this movie, but it's really for the other QVC content and for the sales. But this watching Holly and the Hot Chocolate is a way to get you to download that. My thoughts, not necessarily true, and but certainly I think I think it's a legitimate beef with the movie. But if you're going to do it, QVC, if you're going to do a movie, give us 2 hours, of whatever it is. Give us 2 hours of a bad movie, but give us 2 hours of it. Don't give it 1 hour and then call it a Christmas movie. That's an hour. It's not even enough time to fully develop the story, to fully develop a character. And at the end of it, I was like, boy, this is rushed. It's rushed because it's only an hour. So yeah, that's that. Holly and the Hot Chocolate. It is on QVC Plus. You can download it for free if you have like Roku or one of those TVs, smart TV, where you can download channels. I will say that. So if you want to see it, and if you're a QVC watcher and then you just happen to like, anything that QVC does, then you might want to watch it. But the movie itself started out okay. I will say that. Like, they were on the right track. But it just veered off, off the track for me because it wasn't developed well enough. And then the last movie before I get to my upgrades is Christmas Lucky Charm on Up TV. I wanted to watch this because the premise of this movie sounded like so much fun. A woman swears off dating because every date she's with, he finds his Mrs. Right after he breaks up with her. So it became a thing where people would just get with her and break up with her so they could find they're the one. So then the question becomes, how does she kind of break this cycle? Because she doesn't want to be the woman who men get with and break up with just so they could find the one. So, yeah. So it was very cute to see how she kind of breaks the cycle and then how she ends up, or if she ends up finding her Mr. Right when so many people have to break up with her in order to find their Mrs. Right. So for me, it was a cute premise. Did it deliver? Somewhat, mostly, but not quite fully for me. So I would say that is definitely a warmish. It not quite hot, but it was definitely not cold. So I would say it was warmish, leaning to hot. It was between 3 and 3.5 Christmas trees, and I would say it is definitely worth sitting down and watching once. And I think it does come on again one more time this week before the Christmas holiday. So if you get a chance to watch Christmas Lucky Charm, check it out. Like I said, it does have a fresh premise, and the premise in and of itself was like super cute. So anyway, now let me tell you about my 2 upgrades. I have 2 upgrades. I think I had rated these 3.5 stars earlier in the season, but they are definitely better than 3.5 now. A Kismet Christmas. I actually got to watch again when I, was awake and had energy and had coffee. And I was like, how in the world did I give this 3.5 Christmas trees? This was at least a 4.0 Christmas trees and maybe a 4.25. Like, it was there. A Kismet Christmas, I really liked a whole lot. I like the premise of it. I like the story. I like the acting. Of course, I love Mary Lou Henner. She's like one of my favorite actresses on the Hallmark channel. So when you put it on Sarah Ramos, though, I think to me, she was much better than I gave her credit for before. And I like Harlow Marx in just about everything he does. So yeah, Kismet Christmas was definitely much better than I thought it was. So that was worth an upgrade. Then a Lifetime movie gets an upgrade. Reindeer Games Homecoming. I think I gave it 3.5 Christmas trees before, and it is definitely like a 4.0, maybe going towards a 4.25. Sarah Drew and Justin Brunick. Watched it again. I'll tell you, like, the crossword puzzle thing at the end, if you've watched it, you know what I'm talking about. But the crossword puzzle thing at the end is really what took it over the top for me. But this was like a really good storyline. It's not the story that you think it's going to be from the title, right? To me, it was super well layered, and but then it's like the ordinary girl in the extraordinary world kind of thing, where because he's a big actor and she's like the hometown girl, and do they kind of get together and all this kind of stuff. So I watched that again and really enjoyed it. So I will say that if you catch it over the next week, you only got 7 days between now and Christmas, and then they're going to go back to the regular programming. So if you haven't caught that, or definitely catch it on demand. I think Reindeer Homecoming, like all of the Lifetime movies, are on demand. So anything Lifetime, if you haven't seen it, go check it out before they pull it down. Okay? that is it for today. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh, I had so much stuff. See, this is why I didn't do the Saint Nick shout outs, because I knew I was going to have a long show. So stay tuned for next week, because I have so many movies that I didn't talk about from this week, and then so many things that I've missed, and then a few things that are coming up in the next week before Christmas, which is next Sunday. Okay? So we have movies that I haven't seen or that are coming up next week. Holiday Heritage, I didn't get a chance to see it. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, it was Hallmark. Last night I didn't get a chance to see it. The Gift of Peace, I still have not gotten a chance to see that. Hanukkah on Rye, I'm going to be watching that today. I'll be watching that tonight. And An Eclectic Christmas, that's on Up TV. It's coming on tonight. I probably won't get to see it. The Holiday Dating Guide with Maria Menounos. I am going to catch that on demand. I'm going to try and catch that today. A Christmas to Treasure. No, I talked about that already. I it's here because I didn't think I was going to have a chance to watch it, and I ended up watching it. A Record-Breaking Christmas. I did not get a chance to watch it. It's on Lifetime. A Prince and Pauper Christmas on Ion. Did not get a chance to watch it. Dog Napped, Hound for the Holidays, Ion. Did not get a chance to watch it. A Sappy Christmas came on last night on Up TV, Saturday. Didn't get a chance to watch it. Wrapped Up in Love with Brittany Bristow, who is a Hallmark favorite. You guys know her. And I think her, dad or parents are, directors and writers and stuff for Christmas movies. Anyway, she's coming up on Lifetime tonight. I'm not sure whether I'll get a chance to watch that. When Christmas Was Young on CBS tonight. If you haven't watched that, you gotta watch that. That is Sheryl Crow wrote the music for that. Now, I wasn't gonna watch that because I thought it's more rom drama for me, but I saw a clip and I heard the song and I was like, I might actually have to record that. So I'll record it and watch it, and we'll see how that goes. But I love Sheryl Crow anyway, so she can hardly do wrong, at least when it comes to music. Okay, then coming up on VH1 this coming Wednesday is Forget About Christmas. That is the Italian themed Christmas movie. Very silly, very over the top from the commercials that I've seen. The Italian girl, I can't remember her name, the Italian girl from Nick Cannon's show is going to be on there. She's got a whole lot of people who are doing cameos on the show. A lot of people in the hip hop industry. So but they haven't done, VH1 has not done a bad movie yet. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn actually about watching. This is not one I would normally watch, but because VH1 has such a good record this year, I don't know, I might. A Christmas Gift on BET comes on December 22nd. Victoria Rao, this has got a whole lot of African American stars in that movie, so that's definitely one I may try to catch. That comes on December 22nd, BET Plus. And then The Snowball Effect, the last movie of the 2022 Christmas season, comes on December 24th on Up TV. Okay, it is the last new movie of the Christmas movie season. Hallmark and Lifetime are done after today with their new stuff, and then you're just going to be able to watch all the replays until January 1st. January 2nd, they go back to their regular programming. So we don't have a lot to go. But we can do a lot of catch up in this coming week, which is my plan, to do a lot of catch up. I've got so many things I haven't watched. So many things I probably will not watch. Okay. I will tell you, I will probably not watch a lot of it because I just don't have the time. But I will be watching these. Fortunately, I have a list, and I will be watching over the course of the off season and reporting and reviewing as I go through the off season and start to catch things. Okay. So much. Keep an eye out for the daily top 3 on Twitter and Instagram. I really try to do it every day, but if I don't, you guys just know I'm having a not so crazy day and I just didn't get a chance to do it. Thank you To my music and show editor, Will B. He created all the custom music for this show. He's at Wildcard Music, and you can find his IG page in the show notes. Until next time, remember, at Chicks on Christmas Flicks, we can never have too many Christmas movies. We can only have not enough Christmas movies. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave a review on your favorite platform, and tell your Christmas movie loving friends about the show. Where can you find us? I'm so happy you asked. Podcast platforms include Amazon, Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, and many, many more. Follow us on Twitter at Chicks on Christmas Flicks with X's. Follow us on IG at Chicks on Christmas Flicks with X's. Thank you for listening, and I will see you a couple of times in the coming weeks. So thank you for joining us.